So yeah, the podcast is over. But don't worry, I'm still going to be making animations. I'm just going to kind of go over my thoughts, and just kind of ideas in the future. So yeah, I'll just get right into it. But I've been thinking about doing, more like not necessarily more animations, but obviously I'm not going to stop making the Clueless animated stuff anytime soon. The gaming channel is still there, and also they're going to be releasing something else, so that might also change. We'll have to wait and see what it looks like, but animations aren't going to stop anytime soon, so don't worry about that. But with that being said, I've been thinking about doing other animations based on other groups, such as Knuckle and Terrorizer Reacts, the Vanos Crew, Creepcast, like Ken, um, just to name like just a couple off the top of my head, um, try a different variety of styles, maybe some more serious, not as comedic. With Creepcast, there's some really, really good stories. That are probably not, and obviously they have bits, Meat Canyon and Wendigoon obviously have those things, but maybe try something a bit more serious, less comedic, things like that, but yeah, I've been doing this for almost 2 years, just under 2 years. When I started making this, it'll be a month until basically when I release the first one, but yeah, I also want to be exploring. I also wanted to, do some other stuff. I do want to practice doing some more traditional painting. Especially with all the AI stuff. And it's just flooding the internet. I also want to try and do some more physical stuff, so that way there's a sense of physicality to the actual art. But I also want to do some more live streaming, and I kind of want to do animation practice, art studies, some development things for some other projects. Um, but yeah, and then I'd also like to stream more and set some time for some video games because I don't play a lot of video games because animation takes a long time. And maybe start a second channel, but I want to make sure that this channel is doing decent before I start a second channel because then I'll do more workloads, maybe something a little less work heavy for the second channel. Yeah, but I'll just kind of give an idea of a couple of directions. The first direction, or kind of direction A, is just basically do the Clueless animated um, stuff, but for the gaming channel instead of the podcast. Or also depending on what they do for the other project, I have no idea what it is, um, but the other option, and this is option B, is kind of do like a network style, or the channel basically becomes more of a network of just a variety of different animations. So maybe shorter, maybe under a minute or just over a minute, Clueless Gaming, but then have like those other um, channels try and do something with that. Like maybe on Tuesday I have the Clueless animated for the gaming channel, and then maybe on Wednesday it's Nolan Terrorizer animated. Then maybe Thursday is a Creepcast, and then like maybe Vanos Crew, something like that. Um, or like a Pop and Meat video. Things like that, like a variety of different things. Or maybe there's just Tuesdays maybe just Clueless Gaming, and then the other days are just kind of a hodgepodge of just whatever is interesting that week. Just kind of throw it out, see what sticks to the wall. Um, and then basically Saturday, and like basically do like a Saturday morning thing where I take those episodes and put them into a compilation on Saturday, and you can just watch all of them there. Um, yeah, and then basically 3 or 4 mini episodes into like a 4 minute Saturday morning, but each like Tuesday through Friday is just like a minute, or just around a minute. Um, and then do monthly compilations and yearly compilations just to get a little bit more revenue, just to help fund this and make sure that I can actually do this full time. Those are just a few ideas. Would love to get to know, like, hey, what else do you guys want to see for content and whatnot? Just to do a little bit of self promotion, I have my plushie. It's all ready and it's full glory. Um, but yeah, the plushie is going to be available until August 18th. So if you want to head over and grab one, helps support me, helps support the channel, make sure I can do this. Um, but yeah, so it's really cool for Gimme Swag to reach out and do this. So yeah, if you're interested in that, I also have So I also have some other stuff. The Redbubble, that's basically been dead for years at this point. I'm gonna start uploading stuff on there. So if you want to buy some merch of my art and whatnot, there's also going to be trying to update it. I think a bit more regularly and see if anyone's interested in it. I think Pezzi's I'm a little bit of a thug, and Droid in a Wheelchair is available there. I also think there's South Park versions as like a little stickers, nice and ready. Um, and also just gonna support the promote the Patreon. So Patreon, if you are on a budget but you also want to support me, you can feel free to do the $1 tier. It's only $1 a month, and you get all the behind the scenes access and the credit and the videos and whatnot. If you're feeling a bit more generous and you want to get like a nice little personalized GIF or a image, the $3 and $5 tiers are still available. So once again, if you're interested in doing that, just head on over to Patreon. Everything's going to be linked below in the description and in the pinned comment. Yeah, and then there's also a couple of ideas I've been thinking about doing, which is releasing a book, or like an art book about the 100 episodes. To see if anyone's interested in that. Basically it would be like a two-page spread. You'd have your thumbnail, maybe a short description, some stills, and then of on this side like a thumbnail, and then kind of a summary, and then just show like a little behind the scenes and whatnot. If anyone's interested in that, probably do a Kickstarter to raise some funding, just mostly for the projection stuff. See if anyone's interested and whatnot. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. But with all that out of the way, I'm not going to stop making animations anytime soon because people really, really like it. They've been showing really good support. And but yeah, I think that'll be pretty much it. So feel free to let me know in the comments. Let me know what you're thinking. What you would like to see. Is there any particular group that you guys would like me to animate? And also, or if there's, do you want to have, or if you want something animated, hit me up in either, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, email, things like that. I'm taking commissions, so if you're interested and you want something to be done, feel free to include that or just feel free to contact me. Everything's in the description and all of that stuff. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Obviously, animations aren't going to go away, but I'll also wait to see what they are doing now that the podcast is over. But yeah, that's pretty much going to be it. So once again, let me know in the comments what you guys would like to see, and yeah. So the next episode 100, will be coming out next week, and depending on when I post this, it'll be, or the behind the scenes will be uploaded into Patreon and whatnot. So feel free to check those out. But yeah.